What's up everybody, it's Blanca and we are back with another explained video where we speedrun the retelling of complicated game stories with plenty of jokes along the way. Real quick though, if you enjoy these videos, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, or don't. I'm not going to tell you how you live your life. The algorithm makes me say this shit, but all the love you do share helps motivate me to keep making content, so thank you. This time we are discussing The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which is a direct continuation from the second game. If you haven't watched my Witcher 1 or 2 explain videos, make sure you check those out so you have an idea what's going on. All that said, there's a reason why this game was 2015's Game of the Year, but if you can't spare the 55 plus hours to play it, don't worry, I got you. Following events at Witcher 2, things aren't good. Nilfgaard is invading the north, monsters are still running rampant, and the Wild Hunt is still out there trying to ruin Geralt's day. Since Geralt finally got some information about Yennefer, he and his mentor Vesemir have been trying to track her down, and do so in another badass CDPR cutscene. There's war all over the place, crow lobotomies, cool earth magic, but honestly my first thought was, if Yennefer's trying to escape, why is she riding through the battle? In case you didn't know, Geralt and Yennefer have always had a complicated relationship to say the least. They care for each other and are parental figures for Ciri, who we'll meet soon. Also, a genie bound them together, just the most dysfunctional family ever. Their search takes them to an inn in White Orchard where Geralt learns the most addictive card game I have ever played, and that Yennefer was seen at a local Nilfgaardian garrison. Garrison commander will only give up the info if Geralt kills a griffin, and after delivering its head, finds out she's in Vizima. But even after all that effort, none of it really matters because she shows up with Nilfgaardian escort and lace thigh highs. Seems CDPR is still simping. Yennefer insists Geralt come to Vizima because Emperor Emhyr, Nilfgaard's ruler, wants to see him. The strong-willed mage reports to Emhyr now? There's another reason, but because she has this power complex and is a low-key bitch, she refuses to give Geralt any more information. Vesemir heads back to Kaer Morhen, and while Geralt's riding out, everything gets extra frosty. Oh shit, the Wild Hunt's already here? They get away and head for Vizima while Geralt gets the coming to America treatment and learns how to curtsy. Geralt's no bitch though and refuses to bow to Emhyr's punk ass. Emperor Emhyr says his daughter Ciri has returned. She's being pursued by the Wild Hunt and Emhyr wants her brought to him. Wait, Ciri's back? Yen's been using all kinds of spells to find her, but now that the Wild Hunt's on that ass, they have to use traditional tracking, and that's where Geralt comes in. Yen has 3 leads, with the trail in Velen being the most promising. Geralt is to meet one of Emhyr's spies. Before leaving, we get some background on the war between games 2 and 3. Nilfgaard managed to easily take over Adern, the free area once led by that dragon lady. Instead of helping his allies, Radovid's crazy ass attacked Hensel, killed him, and united the 2 kingdoms. Now Radovid's north and Emhyr's south are at a stalemate until Nilfgaard gets reinforcements. Geralt goes to meet the spy, but things aren't good. He's all kinds of dead and the entire village is raided. The Wild Hunt rolled through as they continued to track Ciri. He found the spy's notes that gave him 2 leads, one a local baron and the other a witch. Geralt visits the bloody baron who knows Ciri. Baron tells Geralt Ciri was brought in because she saved a little girl that Bullcut here thought was the baron's missing daughter. Geralt says, "Where is she?" And the Baron tells his grumpy ass to chill because there's something he wants first. Just so everyone's aware, this is basically quid pro quo the game. The Baron's wife, Anna, and daughter are missing, and he wants Geralt to find them. Geralt investigates and finds Anna's amulet, given to her by a peller people say has gone crazy and fucks goats. Knowing all that, Geralt visits the peller anyway. The peller can augur the spirits to get more information, but his goat went missing. Geralt sets off on the most annoying fetch quest of this entire game when he has to ring the bell to have the goat follow him every time it stops to eat fucking berries. It's like getting the kid with ADHD to pay attention in a room full of butterflies. Eventually, Goat makes it back. Peller pours its milk and rat blood on the living room floor. No wonder the Black Plague happened. And spirits tell them Anna had a miscarriage. The fetus turned into a botchling, a cursed creature that feeds on pregnant women because it wasn't given a proper burial. Back at the Baron's place, he's extra wasted, and Geralt beats his ass for abusing his wife and forcing his wife and child to flee. In order to find Anna, they have to perform a ritual turning the botchling into a Lemerkin, so the Baron picks up the creepy-ass daughter, names her, and buries her under the house. The Lemerkin spirit emerges, and Geralt follows it to the family that harbored Anna and their daughter. The daughter is safe in a nearby city, but Anna, not so much. As they attempted to escape, Anna came under a great deal of pain. Fiery marks burned into her palms, and a giant fiend dragged her into the woods. Without any additional information, Geralt decides to pursue the lead about the witch, who happens to be Kira Metz, sorceress and former advisor to King Foltest, before Letho cut his head off in the second game. Because Geralt gives 0 fucks, he walks in on Kira bathing like, "Dry off, we have shit to do." Geralt tells her about Ciri, and Kira mentions being approached by an elven mage who was also looking for her. Kira takes Geralt to the Mage's Hideout, but the Wild Hunt is already there. After taking out a Wild Hunt executioner, they search for clues, see Elfman's projection saying the area is no longer safe, no shit, but they do get a clue about the Witches of Crookback Bog. Geralt is told to follow the trail of treats, think Hansel and Gretel if you know that tale. When he gets there, Geralt finds some orphans and a weird woman in the middle of the swamp. That's not creepy at all. No one's willing to give Geralt any information until he finds out Johnny might know. Who the fuck is Johnny, you might ask? Johnny is the ugliest and, once he gets his voice back, most annoying smurf ever, but he's cool and convinces the old lady to ask the witches for help. It only gets weirder when the witches, also called crones, use the woman to communicate with Geralt. They know Ciri, but of course information is never free. Geralt has to kill an evil spirit that's basically Voldemort if he was a tree. Trees it, gets popped. Geralt collects the village leader's ear because the crones are sick and eat people, and when he delivers it, the crones show up in their true form. Ugly as fuck. Like that 2 you had to hang out with so your friend could get the 8. They tell the lady to get the ear and set her hand ablaze when she takes too long. Wait, holy shit, Anna? The crones tell Geralt that Ciri appeared in the swamp. They took her in and were going to give her to the Wild Hunt, but the crones first wanted to taste Ciri's elder blood. Ciri escapes, and that's how she ended up at the Barrens. Naturally, Geralt's all like, "You tried to eat my daughter, I'm gonna fuck you up." But the crones fade away laughing, saying they'll see him soon. Geralt tells the Baron his wife had a child she didn't want because of their fucked up relationship. Made a pact with the crones and found out you shouldn't trust Silent Hill cosplays. All of this torment has caused Anna's mental state to wither away and deteriorate. The Baron decides to go after his wife, but not before telling Geralt the rest of his story. Ciri hung out for a bit. They slayed a giant cock together. This rooster basilisk thing, you sickos. And eventually Ciri left for Novigrad. Before leaving, this ball of leprosy bursts in and starts breaking shit. Baron says that's Uma. He won him in a card game from a Skelegan trader and now uses him as entertainment for his crew. Geralt's now in Novigrad, and things aren't good. The Church of the Eternal Fire runs the city and is on a crusade to rid it of magic users and non-humans. Speaking of magic users, Geralt runs into everyone's favorite red-headed sorceress, Triss. For those of you not familiar, she's been the main love interest while Geralt lost his memory the last 2 games, and Yen was nowhere to be found. Seems like they decided to take a break when Geralt got his memory back and remembered about Yen, because now it's kind of awkward. After helping her scare some rats and barbecue some witch hunters, Triss sends Geralt to the sorceress that can use dreams to find people. Ciri contacted Dandelion, Geralt's bard friend who's basically a medieval gigolo, and now we're searching for yet another person. Geralt must be great at hide and seek because he's always looking for someone. He follows a lead and eventually runs into the dwarf homie Zoltan. Zoltan has been kicking squatter ass because the tavern he shares with Dandelion has been deserted. Zoltan and Geralt know Dandelion's a hoe, so they ask all his recent conquests for a lead, including this cross-dressing elf. Not gonna judge, do you, Dandelion? Geralt was pointed in the direction of Priscilla, eloquently described as...
Picture Dandelion with a pair of tits and you've got the general idea.
Dandelion with a pair of tits tells Geralt real Dandelion was planning a heist with Dijkstra's vault and caused problems for Whoreson Jr., an underworld boss. Knowing Dandelion, he fucked up, and Geralt needs to save his ass. Again. Geralt heads to Dijkstra's bathhouse, and after getting his fill of CDPR simping, gets some leads on Whoreson. Dijkstra also shows Geralt an empty vault, where our troll friend Bart is grieving because Bart makes Ziggy lose joyful. For those of you that don't speak troll, Bart feels guilty. He was supposed to protect the treasure. It's gone, so he didn't do his job. Dijkstra wants his 20 tons of gold back. Geralt does more investigating, finds a name of someone who may have blown up the vault, has to find yet another person, but instead learns Menge, leader of the witch hunters, sees the golden dandelion. Triss has a plan. Menge is a witch hunter, so let's give him the most famous witch in Novigrad, Triss. As she offers herself up to save Dandelion, she tells Geralt not to break cover. Not that easy considering the guard in the other room is ripping off her fingernails one by one. Menge reveals Dandelion's in Temple Isle dungeons and will stay there until he orders the execution in person. Too bad Triss didn't hear that, because once Menge goes in to check on Triss, damn! She stabs this dude straight through the chin. Don't piss off the cute fire mage. Geralt's like, yeah, we kind of needed him alive. He has to give the order in person. And Triss is like, oh shit, my bad. What about the shape-changing Doppler friend Doodoo? Doodoo. Hold up, Triss. Doodoo's in hiding. So yet again, we're off to search for another person. Before that, Geralt works on his Whoreson leads, finds out that he's working for Radovid, and Dijkstra sends Geralt to an old friend that has Redanian contact, our buddy, Vernon Roach. Roach is leading a band of guerrilla fighters against Nilfgaard, and lucky for us, doesn't seem too upset that we completely abandoned him for the elves in the last game. Also lucky is that he's on his way to see his Redanian contact right now. King Radovid? Radovid continues to be a psychopath, which is clearly depicted in our very first conversation with him.
Blood thumps inside these chessmen. You need only listen, and you will hear. I want to break the chessmen open. Squeeze the truth from them.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
But eventually, we get Whoreson's location. After slaughtering his entire guard, we learn what a fucking degenerate Whoreson really is and literally beat the information out of him. This ponytail rat-looking fuck said he would fix Ciri's phylactery if they stole Dijkstra's treasure. They didn't deliver, and Whoreson kidnapped Dudu, Dudu, to set Ciri up. She kicks his ass and fights her way out while Dudu morphs and goes into hiding. Geralt leaves Whoreson to his fate. Pieces of shit like that aren't worth staining good swords, and continues to search for Dudu. Before that though, Triss needs a favor, and because she's hotter than Dandelion, we take a short break to help her and the other mages escape the persecution of Novigrad. Ah shit, Blanca, but Triss has been our ride or die since the first game. I know, we can't let her leave, so Geralt drops the forbidden L word and tells Triss how he really feels. Despite this, she leaves anyway. Damn, Geralt. You tried, big dog. Keep your head up, king, is what Dijkstra's potato head ass tried to say until Geralt turned around. No fucking way. She stayed? At the last minute, Triss decided not to flee with the other refugees and risk it all to be with Geralt. The two find a romantic lighthouse, take a moment to dream about their future, and fully enjoy being back together, if you know what I'm saying. Triss agrees to head for Kaer Morhen while Geralt continues to search for Dandelion and Ciri. Because Dudu is a theater aficionado, Priscilla and Geralt put on a play to draw him out of hiding. Roger Ebert gave the performance 2 out of 4 stars, but fuck him because it's like 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. Dudu agrees to help, shapeshifts into Manga, and orders Dandelion to be moved. The rest of the crew set up an ambush, and Geralt saves his most annoying friend yet again. Dandelion fills in the rest of Ciri's story. Ciri continued to fight through hordes of Whoreson's men, and right before taking her crossbow to the heart, she vanishes, leaving Dandelion to get captured. She also needed help deciphering a curse and incantation that Dandelion repeats for Geralt. With no other leads in Novigrad, Geralt decides to head for Skelega. He parts ways with Dandelion, Priscilla, and Zoltan as they all head back to their tavern. Eventually, Geralt makes his way to Skelega, and things aren't good. King Bran is dead, and the clans need to pick a successor to lead them against Nilfgaard. Yen informs Geralt there was a large burst of magic in the forest, and she thinks it was Ciri. At the wake, the whole thing screams brave. The old Irish accents, bunch of blokes and that one ginger lass competing for something. Lass's big old father is hosting the ceremony. There's a massive bear attack that we'll get to later. Disney's out here really stealing more ideas. Because she's conniving, manipulative, and won't take no for an answer, Yen drags Geralt into the druid's lab to steal a sacred mask. Almost get crushed by an elemental, and damn near die from poisonous gas, all without giving Geralt any real information as to why. Right before said death, she teleports them back to the wake, and Geralt's homie Croc asks him to help him with his unruly ass kids. Geralt helps one kill an ice giant, the other fake roast a fucking baby. I said it was fake, don't strike me YouTube, and stop Slenderman Gengar from haunting Irish Sagat. Back at the wake, celebration turns chaos when out of nowhere a bunch of bears just start ripping people apart. Body parts are flying all over the place, there's blood everywhere, they spilled the mead. Not the mead! Croc's son's all like, fuck that. We're getting revenge, and runs out to fuck someone's day up even though he has no other information. His more even-keeled sister wants to investigate first. Maybe figure out how a group of bears randomly ended up in the dining room of a castle that's on top of a mountain? Geralt helps Croc's daughter Cerys discover that some people can turn into bears. Were given spiked drinks that cause them to go feral. More investigation reveals that this traitorous bitch caused the chaos in order to kill off the other successors, leaving the throne open for her son. She's sentenced to death, and Cerys eventually becomes the new Queen of Skelega. After influencing national politics, Geralt meets Yen where the magic explosion happens. Geralt dons the mask stolen from the druid, which allows him to see glimpses of the past. Ciri and her elf friend were here fleeing the wild hunt. The druid mentions that the race raided a nearby town as well, so they talk to the survivors and learn one of them was with Ciri, but he's off monster hunting. Also, he's dead. Because Yennefer gives zero fucks, she has no qualms of using dark magic and reanimates the dead to get his story. Elf and Ciri teleported to the shoreline, and Ciri wasn't looking so good. Dude took them in, Elfman dips, Ciri is tended to until she recovers. Oh shit, the wild hunt is back? Dude gets cut down helping Ciri escape, and when he comes to, Uma? Why is he here? Before Geralt goes back to get Uma, Yennefer asks him for a favor. Of course, doesn't reveal her true intentions until later. Eventually, Geralt finds out Yennefer wants to tame a djinn in order to remove the bond between them and find out if their feelings are real. They do, and for Yen, nothing has changed. She still has feelings and wants to be with Geralt. But Geralt's over here like, yeah, it's quiet. You cool and all, and I dig the slutty outfits, but I'm committed to someone who actually treats me way better. I'm just saying, if any of y'all out there are like, nah, Blanca should have picked Yen, straight up, you just want a dommy mommy and like getting stepped on. Triss is actually going to take care of our mans in more ways than one, if you know what I'm saying. They teleport back, Yen's off to report to Emir, and Geralt's like, fuck that guy, report these nuts. Geralt heads back to Velen, picks up Uma's ugly ass, and gets forced to report to Emir anyway, and recaps Ciri's situation. For those of you not paying attention or can't keep up with my bullshit, Ciri and Elf appeared in Skelega, ran into the Wild Hunt, fled, and got separated in Velen, where Ciri had to deal with the crones and met the Baron. She then went to Novigrad, where she had her scrap with Whoreson, and teleported back to Skelega, meeting up with Elfman again. Wild Hunt found them once more. They fled by boat, but a day later, the only thing to return was the boat and Uma. Yennefer says she might be able to lift Uma's curse and figure out who he really is, but again is being cryptic as all hell. They head to Kaer Morhen and make preparations to lift the curse. Yennefer yeets a bed out the window because it has Triss's hair in it. Geralt has a good excuse when he says he lost his memory, remember, Witcher 1? Yennefer says, fuck your excuse, and yeets Geralt into the lake. Bitch. Finally, Yennefer tells everyone she's going to put Uma under the trial of grasses, the extremely painful witch mutation that kills most of the people who do it. Naturally, all the witches are like, what the fuck? But Yen explains that she needs to use this trial in order to mold Uma into the original form. The next day, they left the curse, trap it in the phylactery, and Uma is the elf man? Extremely weak, he mutters that Ciri is at the Isle of Mist, gives Geralt a way to find it, and says the Wild Hunt will know where Ciri is the second she leaves. No more running, it's time to take out the hunt. Geralt recruits all the homies he's helped throughout this journey and sends them to Kaer Morhen. He heads to the Isle of Mist, kicks a bunch of doors out their safe house, and finally finds Ciri. No, she didn't make it? Completely helpless, Geralt embraces his lifeless daughter. But hold up, the light used to guide Geralt to Ciri finds her, and she's back? Ciri and Geralt have a tender reunion and take a moment to catch up. After Ciri left Geralt and Yen on the Isle mentioned in Witcher 2, she was already being pursued. She fled through time and space using her powers, ran into Elfman, whose name is Avallac'h by the way, and he helped her find a place where the Wild Hunt couldn't find her. After some time, Ciri thought she was safe and decided to return. As we all know, that was a bad idea. Eredin, the leader of the Wild Hunt, used a curse from the phylactery, and that's how Avallac'h became Uma. Ciri teleports them back to Kaer Morhen, where she gets a warm welcome, and the love triangle tensions are still brewing. But we don't have time for that. The Wild Hunt is attacking Kaer Morhen. The massive battle happens. Hella Wild Hunt soldiers all over the place. The sorceresses are fucking shit up with fire and telekinesis. Geralt and the Witcher homies are slicing dudes all over the place. But that's not enough. Yen loses her strength, the shield falls, and the white frost freezes Geralt. In an effort to save Ciri, Vesemir gets caught. Knowing Ciri is going to sacrifice herself to save Vesemir, he fights back. Oh no! Vesemir gets his neck snapped. This sets Ciri into a fit of rage, unleashing her uncontrolled power. The Wild Hunt needs to retreat, and Ciri is only stopped when a weakened Avallac'h gets her under control. The others thaw out. Everyone is overwhelmed by the loss of Vesemir, and he gets the hero's pyre he deserves. Yennefer says magic is their best defense against the Wild Hunt, and they have to recruit the Lodge of Sorceresses, or at least what's left of them. She and Triss head out to start the search, while Geralt, Avallac'h, and Ciri stay to hone her power. Needless to say, it's not going well. To take her mind off things, Geralt pelts Ciri with snowballs to lift her spirits. The next day, Ciri coaxes Geralt into going to Velen for the Witches' Sabbath. The general who killed Vesemir will be there, and Ciri wants revenge. They get Blister-Faced Blind Lady to open the gate, kill the obese devil, and rock, paper, scissors to see who's going to fight the crones and who gets to avenge Vesemir. Ciri rolls up on the crones doing some naked cooking and whoops their asses for obvious health code violations. Geralt finds the hunt general who's into furries and goat play. Geralt does some cooking himself when he sears dude's head and then tenderizes it. Vesemir avenged, they head for Novigrad, where Triss tells Geralt she has a lead on Philippa, the owl lady who betrayed Geralt and got her eyes gouged out by Radovid in Witcher 2. The lead takes them to Dijkstra's bathhouse while Philippa is just throwing fireballs at him. Geralt manages to subdue Philippa and convince Dijkstra to let them go. This eventually leads to Geralt helping the spy homies kill Radovid for the good of Samaria, and Philippa can't turn down opportunity to get some well-deserved revenge. With Radovid dead, Roach and Thaler plan to form a truce with Nilfgaard. Nilfgaard keeps what they've conquered, but is willing to leave Samaria alone for Radovid's head and a ceasefire. Of course, Dijkstra's two-timing ass says, nah, we fight until we win, under my rule. He tries to kill Thaler and Roach, but Roach is the homie, so Geralt kills Dijkstra with complete disregard to the greater consequences this will have on the war. Geralt then meets with Yennefer, who tells him Margarita's in prison. After killing all the guards, not only does he find Margarita, but Sheila's alive? Well, barely. She's in critical condition. Radovid's people have not been kind to her since she got caught. She asks Geralt to finish her as an act of mercy. Yen gets Margarita out, and despite being fully responsible for putting Geralt through all kinds of shit in the second game, he's nice enough to honor her final request. With the sorceresses gathered, Avallac'h needs Geralt's help as well. He has a plan to get the second of Eredin's generals, Gels, to abandon him. Gels was loyal to the previous king and didn't know Eredin killed him. Avallac'h wants to show Gels the truth and does so by dragging Geralt across the multiverse. Geralt finds the Witcher version of Cool Cool Mountain, shout out to all you old heads who actually got that reference, and remembers that is where he fought Eredin's projection at the end of Witcher 1. He also learns that after trading his soul for Yennefer's and joining the Wild Hunt, Ciri came for him. She saved him from the Wild Hunt and dropped him off outside Kaer Morhen at the beginning of Witcher 1. It has all come full circle. Eventually, they make it to Gels, who has been using art as an excuse to stare at elf titties. They convince Gels to come back with them and use the Dream Lady to show how Eredin killed the previous king. Feeling betrayed, Gels advises the group to find the Sunstone, which will summon Eredin's ship, and he will not provide any reinforcements should he be called. The group then heads back to Skelega to find the Sunstone and complete their final battle prep. But first, Ciri takes Geralt and Yen to Avallac'h's hidden lab. They find a really bitchy elf lady that talks all kinds of shit about Ciri, saying Avallac'h's not her friend and is only using her for the super genes. Naturally, Ciri's pissed off, so Geralt does the mature thing and helps her destroy all of Avallac'h's shit. Then they take a quick detour to pay their respects to the guy who helped her while they were in Skelega, while also punching another guy who was talking more shit. I thought we were looking for the Sunstone. Geralt finally gets back on track and searches the caverns with Philippa. They find the Sunstone, but Philippa's still scheming like that's not how she lost her eyes. Avallac'h and Ciri summon the ship, the mages prevent it from teleporting, and Nilfgaard's fleet prevents it from escaping by sea. Geralt heads straight for Eredin until he gets turned into another popsicle. To stop the frost, Ciri slices the last general clean and destroys his glowing ball staff thing. Weak from the explosion, she teleports away, and a thought-out Geralt finishes the job. Geralt continues to fight through the frozen sea until he finds Eredin. Nah, he did not just kill the homie crack. Geralt is about to ruin this man's day. Eredin thinks he's smooth when he grabs Geralt through a portal and starts using frosty elf powers, but our guy's precision is too real. Poke you in your eye. Eredin defeated, he tells Geralt Avallac'h has deceived them both. More deception? He dies after the confession, and Yen pulls Geralt out of there before the Horde gets him. Avallac'h is opening the gate between worlds. Geralt goes after him and draws his sword. He's tired of Avallac'h's games, but this is no game. Ciri is the one that told him to open the gate. Yes, the Wild Hunt has been defeated, but the White Frost is still out there. Ciri is the only one that can stop it from eradicating all life, and she's determined to save the ones she loves. Continuing to be a good father, Geralt lets his little swallow spread her wings. Ciri confronts the White Frost, recalls the recent memory she had with Geralt, and presses on. The White Frost disappears and the portal closes. Black screen. 2 weeks later, Geralt reports to Emir. Ciri is dead? No. Geralt tells him Ciri stopped the White Frost and fulfilled the prophecy, but sacrificed herself in the process. Struck with grief, Emir makes it clear that he never wants to see Geralt again. Geralt heads back to Velen, where he picks up a really nice silver sword he commissioned as a gift. A gift for Ciri? Wait, she's alive? The memories Ciri had with Geralt motivated her to survive the battle with the White Frost. Geralt told Emir Ciri is dead, so he no longer has to get in the way, and the sword is hers as she's chosen the Witcher's path, just like her surrogate father. With Radovid dead, Nilfgaard conquered Novigrad and Redania, but Samaria remains free. Skelega is flourishing under Cerys' rule. Choosing the Witcher path, Geralt taught Ciri everything he knows, and legends about the ashen-haired Witcheress are spreading throughout the land, and Geralt's old head ass finally settled down with Triss. Triss made bank as the mage advisor to Kovir's king, and Geralt took the random Witcher contract because retirement is boring. And that's The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Don't forget, let me know in the comments what other games do you all want to see. We've already done a ton of other explain videos, so make sure you check those out as well. I'm La Muerte Blanca, and I'll catch you guys next time.